And now on the Business RadioX network, another exciting episode with Jamie Overturf in Connecting Tucson with Jamie.
Hello and welcome to Connecting Tucson with Jamie Overturf, broadcasting from the Tucson Business RadioX studio situated in Stewart Title Corporate Office Building off of Broadway in Tucson, Arizona. Connecting Tucson is all about connecting our community, our local businesses, and organizations to help our community grow and thrive. Today we're talking with Danalda Dreis and Steve Hoeffner from Star Glass Company. Danalda was born in Vancouver, British Columbia, which I did not know, and moved to the U.S. when she was an infant. She grew up here and attended the U of A, where she received her bachelor's degree in general business. Met her husband, Sean, and together her and Sean have two sons, which keep them on their toes quite frequently. Steve was born and raised right here in Tucson, so a true Tucsonian, which I am very rare to find. He has been working in the glass industry since 1986. He's married to his beautiful wife, Angie, and they are blessed with 3 wonderful children and 2 precious grandchildren. Thank you both for coming on Connecting Tucson. I'm so happy to have you here. After all it took for us to get here, I am so happy that I am finally got you two in the studio. So what I'm going to do, what I usually do with my listeners, is have you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and your background. So I'm going to start off with Danalda, since I know you a little bit better. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, and how it got you to the Star Glass Company?
So thank you for having me here, first of all, Jamie.
You're welcome.
So right out of college, worked for Walmart for a year, did some traveling. Then I worked over at Enterprise Rent-A-Car for 14 years. And during that time there, I worked a lot with insurance agents. So I started building relationships many, many years ago. We did some restructuring there, and then there was an opportunity that popped up at Star Glass. I've been at Star Glass now, 11 years now.
Wow.
And kind of doing the same thing that I was doing at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, but now I'm just doing it on the glass side of it, working with the same people that I've worked with for over 20 years now. 25 years. So some of those agents are still around, some are not. So just doing that, working with agents.
So very knowledgeable in both like the rental car and the glass type areas.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, well, I'm excited. And Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Star Glass?
Okay. Well, thanks for having us on again. And so as you said, born and raised here in Tucson, graduated from South Point Catholic High School in 1988. Was working in the glass business in 86 part-time. So when I graduated, I went full-time. Started managing my first store at Speedy Auto Glass in 1991. And then it kind of evolved into some mergers and buyouts. Ended up with Harmon Glass in 1993 to about 2003. And a couple more mergers and buyouts. Ended up with Star Glass in 2007, partnered up with Ron Moore, and basically been there ever since. And we've grown it from, I think he was doing probably 450,000 in sales a year, and now we're up to close to 3 million in volume.
Wow.
So we've grown quite a bit over the years, and with people like Danalda and the great staff that we have, and the continued support by the local agents, helped us get to where we are today. So we thank you for that.
Well, that is wonderful. And you are the GM for Star Glass, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
All right. Now, is there just the one Star Glass here in Tucson in the one location, or are there multiple locations?
We now have the one location since we consolidated, and we actually purchased National Glass about 3 years ago.
That's right.
So we consolidated everything to the Grant and Stone location, which is a huge location. And we closed a couple satellites, one on West Grant and then North Colb Road. But we do have a location in Phoenix as well.
Okay, so you have 2 brick and mortar stores, is a good way to put it.
Correct,
for here in Tucson and one in Phoenix.
Right, correct.
Okay, excellent. Well, I can attest to Danalda's dedication and passion because she, as being an agent, comes into my office at least once a month just to pop in, even though I'm rarely there. As you can see, I'm never in my office doing things like this. It's fun. And you guys are excellent at what you do. Your employees are very knowledgeable, answer so many questions. They're thorough and they're professional, which is what I really look for when I try to partner with a company and do business with them myself. So thank you so much. Now, I can safely say you are actually Danalda, one of the reasons I think Star Glass is where it is today, only because your passion drives the sales. And I can see that the relationships that you have really helps us to feel secure in partnering with you. So I know people have that other company that's, that we also work with, Safelight. Tell me, and I'm going to talk with Steve on this one. Tell us about Star Glass and how you would describe your company and services to someone who's never heard of you.
Well, we're locally owned and operated. Like I said, we have close relationships with all of our, customers, agents, vendors. So customer get the opportunity to call and talk to someone directly locally that knows the area, knows the people, knows the situation going on, as opposed to maybe calling a 1-800 number, talking to somebody back east or wherever they're at, and not being able to get a kind of a personal sense of what's going on with the situation, whatever that may be. So we have very little turnover at Star Glass, so
Nice.
that's a big strength for us. So most of my staff has been with me for 25 plus years. So that goes a long way. You can't replace that. The experience and the knowledge that they have, like you just talked about, is, second to none. So that's why we encourage people to call us, because we like to support local businesses as well. And we like the same in return. So
Right, and you are locally owned. So, Danalda, what would you say your biggest difference is between you and, let's say, the national chain? What do you think sets you apart?
Well, I was say what makes my job easy too, because we are local and all the folks there in the office are so knowledgeable. I can call the girls in the office have all been there over 20 years.
Wow.
And I can call Liz or Renee and they know everything because they've been around for so long. And I'm really proud of the product that we produce. And, sometimes something may come up. We may have an issue. It happens. But because we're locally owned, we can fix it right away. You're not having to call and track down this person. Well, no, this person was your installer, or that the problem was with this. They can call me. They can call the office, and we get things done immediately because you're not tracking somebody down. We're held accountable for what we've done, and we're all local, and we're there. So.
From what I'm hearing, it's basically that you guys hold yourselves accountable and you don't have to call an 800 number. So if something happens, the girls in the office, like you said, have been there for 20 plus years. They can probably answer any question that comes to the door right about now. Besides installing, they probably can answer everything else. Talk about the service. Is it service techs that you do? How do you?
Right.
Okay. How do the service techs, what are some of the training that they go through to either become like mobile or fixing on site? What are some of the things that you put them through before they're out on their own?
Well, they all have to be certified, so they all go through special training processes to learn on the automotive side, the adhesives that they are required to use, all the recalibrations that are required for the vehicles now, the camera systems that are set up. So if we replace a windshield, we have to recalibrate the cameras to make sure they're operating correctly. So they have to go through a training program for that as well. And all of our techs are multidimensional, so they do auto glass, they do residential, they do commercial, window tinting, custom shower doors.
Wow.
So we're
a lot more than just auto.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything with glass.
Yeah,
anything with glass.
Anything.
Anything from like RVs. So like
Anything.
RVs, motorhomes. Yeah. So we're a one-stop glass shop. So
that is a huge difference from some of those chains. And you are local right here.
Correct.
And we have a lot of toys in Tucson. When we think about it, our weather is so like. The climate here makes it perfect for that.
Right.
So they, when you talk about your service technicians and having to be knowledgeable in all of that, the cars and RVs and everything, the technology is completely evolving and is years and light years from 10 years ago when it was just a bumper. Now we've got all of these things here. So how do you keep up with the technology that is consistently changing?
Well, a lot of it, we get bulletins and, different things from the vendors that they share with us. The warehouses selling us the windshields will make us aware of certain applications on certain vehicles that need to be, addressed. Any kind of recall issues with any vehicles or parts we're made aware of, usually beforehand so we can address them. things along that line. And then just, the experience of the techs, out in the field, being able to recognize certain things and address them before there's a problem. And that just comes with their experience, and knowledge of what they do every day and that type of thing. So most of our guys, like I said, 25 plus years at least installing glass. So
nice.
You can't teach that overnight,
Well, and the nice thing about having our techs too is they're our techs. We're not just randomly hiring people for this job and that job, and they're Star Glass employees.
Nice. So you can, and they are knowledgeable in multiple things. So whatever comes in, they can handle.
Right. And there are employees, like Danalda says, so we don't really use subcontractors like a lot of companies do. Mm-hmm. So they just hire on guys for a certain job. And
so you keep it local as well. You keep the people here and you keep them hired. Yeah. Oh, that is so important, especially. And
I think we have up to 23 employees now. So
wow.
We're probably the largest independent in Tucson, locally owned.
Well, I can say you're one of the best, too, if not the best. There we go. I said, if not the best. You heard it was coming. That was there. So you do so much more than just auto glass. Now, you also provide mobile service. They don't have to come direct to your store. So that's huge. Yeah. And how does that work? How does the mobile service, can you tell us a little bit about how that works, either with the auto or the RV, and either one of you?
A little bit of the auto. You can do the RV part.
Okay.
But what typically will happen, the girls will get the information, whether it be through me or through their agent's office. Mm-hmm. They'll call the customer and they'll call in the claim. I mean, we do everything. The girls call in the claim to the insurance company.
Oh, that's
And they do typically a 3-way call just to verify with the insurance company the claim and whatnot. Then the girls set up the schedule. We can do it at someone's home, their office, or if it's more convenient for the customer, come to our office, whatever is easiest for the customer. And then they set up the schedule and set that up and go from there.
Okay.
RVs might be a little different.
RVs, we can do both. Typically, we like to have the RVs in shop just because the windshield, they're enormous.
Yes,
I've seen them do one before. They're ginormous.
Yeah, a lot of times they require a scaffold setup because
that makes sense.
Height. Yeah, so if we can get them brought in, great. We've got some vendors in town that we do a lot of work for where we go to them, the local RV manufacturers here.
Okay.
But those jobs require 3 to 4 men to install.
That's kind of what I was getting at when you said you don't do just auto, you do those, and there's a lot of people who have RVs.
Right, yeah. And we're probably one of the only shops that are capable to do that because of, the man hours it takes involved to do the job. Mm-hmm. Thus, we do quite a bit of motorhomes here in town. So it keeps us pretty busy.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So we just talked about the different types of vehicles, and you do, but you also do set glass, like office doors and tinting. So, and with that, are there different types of glass, not just for auto, but maybe for doors and things that you deal with? And how do you know which types of glass to use?
Well, with commercial and residential, we have to assess the job. So we'll send a technician out, initial estimate, take a look, see what's required. Yeah, like you said, different types of glass from safety glass, tempered, to all the new energy efficient glass that's out on the market today, the low-E coated glass, and all this colorful glass that you see on these new buildings, the mirrored glass. So we've got to go out and assess it, find out what's in there. We have special meters that allow us to, determine what type of glass is in there so we can get a good color match. If there's a window next to it, make sure they're getting the same product that they have in there now. But it normally does require a first visit, and then if we have to order the glass, typically it could take, up to a week to get the glass in. But we offer board-up services as well, so we don't leave them wide open. We make sure that they're safe and secure until the glass arrives.
Wonderful, yeah, because I know I sent somebody your way who had a broken glass, and it was taken care of. I think you guys within a couple of days. I was astonished on how quickly it was. Yeah. It was handled. I'm like, wow, that was quick. Right. So let's just ask the question, what products and services do you offer? Let's do the wide gamut, and what does Star Glass offer for Tucson? Who wants to take that one?
I'll take it. So obviously automotive glass replacement, anything from your windshield to your back glass, window tinting on your automobile. On the residential side, we do a lot of custom shower doors in these newer homes. That's a huge part of our business now.
Okay.
Custom mirrors in homes, custom tabletops in homes.
Tabletops.
All of the surrounding glass in the home, patio doors. We do new window replacements as well. So we can change your window system out entirely with new frames and upgraded windows. On the commercial side, we do complete storefront changeouts, doors, anything that has to do with the glass or the hardware of the glass, we do.
Okay. So that is huge. Obviously, I know, and things can sometimes go wrong from time to time. There's so many moving parts. Do you warranty your work if something goes wrong, either with the labor or perhaps with the glass itself? What happens when something goes wrong? And I think that's one of the big keys of your customer service, and I want to make sure we get that right.
Yeah, most definitely. Everything has a complete full warranty on it, whether it's a defect in the glass or workmanship. We fully stand behind our work 100%.
Excellent.
So.
And that process, if something does go wrong, they call in the office. How does that work, Danalda, if something goes wrong? How does that process work?
It just depends, whatever's easier for them. I've had customers call me or the agent's office. Typically, let's for auto glass, a customer, if they have an issue, typically will call their agent, and then the agent will give me a call, and then I will call the office and track down, see what's happened, and then we can send somebody back out there, or they can come stop by our office. But whatever issues they have, we get it taken care of. There's no running and hiding. I mean, with the local company, there's our office phone number, and we're accountable for everything that we do. And sometimes things do happen, but we fix it and take care of it.
That's great. And people are able to book. Are they able to book online, or if they have, is it just mainly calling in? How can people get a hold of you?
People can book online. I think most people will call in. A lot of times they'll get referred by the agent's office, and the agent will either call it in or just have the insured call it in direct. Yeah, we do get a lot of referrals online from the commercial side as well and residential side, where they'll just Google us and look at our ratings, and our ratings are very impressive. I think that's a lot of reasons why people, come to us, because like I said, we stand behind what we do, and we make sure if there's an issue, we take care of it.
Perfect. That's awesome. And I know that is one of the reasons that I send everybody to you. And as an insurance agent, that is huge. I usually don't offer my clients a second. I say, you need to go to Star Glass. They will take care of you, hold your hand, answer any questions. And I am confident, fully confident in everything that you guys do. And for my listeners, I can tell you I've used them 3 times. All 3 times have been pleasant, wonderful, and the experience is excellent. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Connecting Tucson with Jamie, where we focus on connecting our community, local businesses, and organizations to help our community grow and thrive. As your local insurance professional for all of your insurance needs, I know how important it is to make new and lasting connections in our own community. You never know how our connection will create a spark or pull you in a unique direction. If you're a small business owner or involved in a community project and you would like to be featured on the show, please feel free to give me a call. All of my information is on TucsonBusinessRadioX.com, and I would love to hear from you. Today we're talking with Danalda Dreis and Steve Hoeffner of the locally owned Star Glass Company here in Tucson, Arizona. This actually leads me to my next question. As an insurance agent, I do have a lot of vendors that come into my office. What sets Star Glass Company apart from your competitor, either local or national? And why should people choose you? And whoever wants to take that one, I'm going to let that one go.
Well, one thing I will say is the customer service that you do receive from us is phenomenal. And also the glass that we use, and Steve can explain that a little bit, but our product is the best that you'll find.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little about the product?
I think I touched upon the adhesives that we use. It's original equipment adhesive. We have a product that cures in 30 minutes, so the customer is able to drive the vehicle safely. Yes. With all the new airbag systems in these vehicles, if that windshield isn't cured properly and there's an accident, it's not going to keep the vehicle or the passengers restrained in the vehicle, so there could be some potential liability problems there.
So that's a huge safety factor for you.
Yeah.
It's quick. So not only are you doing it to safety procedures, but you're also doing it time saving. That's
exactly.
great.
Yeah. So we can get them moving down the road as quickly as possible without having to hold their vehicle for 4 to 6 hours.
That's a plus,
right.
Especially for a small business owner. Just going to say that is one of the big perks that happened with me. So,
yeah.
Okay.
And the glass we use is top of the line. It's OEE, original equipment.
I was just about to say,
yeah.
Can you explain what OEE means to our people? That is original equipment for equivalent.
So basically, it's basically the same thing that you're going to see come out of the factory.
Okay.
Same quality, meets all the safety standards as well. It just may not say the dealership's name on it, depending on the insurance company. And what they're required to actually pay for. So
wonderful. Now, I know the COVID pandemic has changed a lot how businesses are doing business these days and age. How has the pandemic or COVID changed the way that your business operates and interacts with the clients? Danalda.
Well, I will say the great part about our business is because we do the auto part and we also do the home part. That has really been a savior, I think, for our company because, as you know, people weren't traveling, people aren't on the road a lot. So the auto part of the business, definitely was affected. But by people being home, we're able to offer that service. A lot of people were redoing their homes, their windows, their bathrooms. So that part of our business was able to even it all out. So that was good.
Okay, perfect. So the other piece, are you taking any safety precautions when you're going to people's homes? How does that look?
Yeah, so the technicians are required to call the customer first when they're on their way, and they'll basically leave it up to the customer. Do you want to make contact, or you want to let me know where your vehicle is?
Okay.
I can go ahead and start working on it. You don't need to be present as long as it's unlocked. We can go ahead and take care of it that way. They clean the vehicle down before they start with a product that we've purchased for the COVID that works very well, and then they clean it up afterwards when they leave to make sure it's left spotless. I was pointing at this. This is another thing that we do. But we do a lot of these. We do a lot of these sneeze guards. That's become very big for us as well.
Okay, so that's another product you offer is the sneeze guards. Excellent. I was wondering what you were pointing at, but I was like, what?
That's been very big for us.
That's totally different for us now.
Yeah, it's a new product line for us. Yeah.
Excellent. So
we definitely do everything.
Yes, I didn't even know that, but that's great because I'm actually looking for something like this in my office. So I'll have to call you again, and we'll see how that goes. As far as when people come to your location, what types of safety procedures can they expect when they come to the office off of Grant?
Well, we have these sneeze guards placed in our front counter, so they're protected there. They are required to wear a mask when they come in, as well as our employees when they're dealing with them, directly. But there, we try to keep the place clean and spotless, and wiping everything down and making sure they have new clean pens to write with, and all the proper procedures to make sure that everybody's kept safe, not only the customers but our employees as well. So.
Excellent. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're taking precautions, and I know our listeners are going to be happy to do that as well. I know you work with a lot of insurance companies, and you have businesses that you do things quite on a consistent basis. What does your ideal client look like? What does ideally the client that you're looking for?
I would say anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody that has any kind of a class need.
Okay, that works. So if a commercial, do you have specific, you did mention that your technicians can do anything, but do you have specific departments within your company that deal just with commercial or personal, or does everybody do everything? How does that look?
Yeah, no, pretty much everybody does everything from the CSRs answering the phone. Any CSR can take any call, whether it's commercial, residential, or automotive. They can take all the information needed, assist the customer in scheduling the job, and then that job can pretty much be dispatched to any technician that's in the area, to give them the best service possible, as opposed to maybe having to wait for a particular technician to do that job. All of our guys are multi-trained to do pretty much anything. So I think that's what separates us apart from a lot of these businesses. They don't have that ability.
The flexibility of that.
They may have different departments. Well, hold on, we'll have so-and-so call you back, and that could delay the whole process. And with our people, you're going to get helped right away. And,
okay. And so how many service technicians do you have? Because you did mention that you have a location up in Phoenix.
Correct.
So how many service technicians do you have here in Tucson and up in Phoenix?
We have 8 here in Tucson, and we have 1 in Phoenix.
Okay.
Phoenix is more of a remote location for us right now, but it is continuing to grow for us. So we're happy to see that.
So what area do you cover? What area do you cover for your services?
Well, in the Tucson area, we're all the way south, all the way to Nogales. We go as far as Sierra Vista. And then obviously we cover from here up to Phoenix. And in Phoenix, we're the greater metro area from Scottsdale to Buckeye to Chandler. He covers a big area up there for us.
That's a huge area up there. I'm trying to think wow, I was going to say he must be very busy. Okay.
He's got a lot of driving, but keep him busy.
Windshield time, pun intended, I guess, right?
I would like to say too, with our company, the neat thing is, if we are working with a business, we can curtail our services to what they need. For example, if a company has a lot of service vehicles, we can do a lot check once a month to look for little dings in the windshields before they become a big crack and have to replace it. Whatever that company needs, we can focus our service on what helps them and their business. So,
all right. So you can go from anywhere from like a restaurant or even someone who does vehicles like auto sales.
Right. So if a company has, say they have 10 company vehicles or 20, instead of waiting until they become cracks, we can do like every first Saturday, we can do a lot check on all the vehicles that are parked there and just kind of give them a look and see if they have a star on it. Well, let's fix that star before it becomes a crack and we can stop the damage on it. Whatever to save. I mean, that saves that company money. And
wow. Is that like a basic service? Is there a set fee for that or how does that look?
Whatever the company needs. That's how.
Yeah,
Steve
it's just a maintenance program. Yeah, it's a maintenance program for them. So obviously, if we can repair the windshield as opposed to replacing it, that's going to save them a lot of money down the road. So
it's just the little extra things that we can provide for them.
Okay.
Yeah. And we encourage, that they have the windshields checked once a month, because it doesn't take long for them to spread out. And then once they get to a certain point, they're going to have to be replaced. But if we can catch it before it happens, then it could be a huge savings for them on multiple vehicles.
That is a huge advantage. Are there any other of those types of programs that are out there? Because I know some of your competitors are not doing that type of thing. So any other of those that kind of set you apart?
I would say the other thing would be same-day service that we offer.
Okay.
Yeah. We try to get out same day if the customer needs it, especially if, there's a big hole in their building, and they need to be secured, so
because you do the board ups.
Either do the board ups and or get the glass in there if it's available. We do offer after hour service as well. So if we can't get out there before 5 or whatever, we have technicians that can go out after hours and take care of their needs.
How late after hours are your service technicians out?
Well, we usually try to have them back by 5,
Got it.
If we can't get there, then
it's a one-off type situation. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So
I misunderstood.
Emergency type.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we have an after hours answering machine that will direct them to a phone number they can call.
Okay.
A service tech.
Someone's always on call?
Yeah, if they need after hours service, correct. Yeah.
Gotta love that on call person.
Right. It's not me.
It's not Steve, but it's someone who knows what they're doing.
Right.
Excellent. I do want to kind of curtail back to your service technicians and the training. You said you have very low turnover, but do your service technicians continue to get continuing education on updates, or how many hours of training do they go through before they're actually allowed to go on a call by themselves?
That kind of depends on how fast they progress, depending on the amount of experience that they have. We like to let them ride along with an experienced tech for as long as they need to.
Oh, that's
to
phenomenal.
Try to learn the ins and outs, and when they feel comfortable, going out on their own. But typically, your average tech probably has 90 days before he's able to kind of go out and
3
do
full
anything.
months.
Yeah, on their own. If they're starting off with no experience. Now, obviously, if they have experience, then it's not that long. It's just a matter of training them on how we do things in our processes and our adhesives and driver wait times and and all those things. So that's not quite as long for an experienced tech to learn that. But
right. Now, you just mentioned adhesives. You also have the different types of glass. And I know you were rattling off something and something hit like low E. What are the different types of glass that you use?
So as far as auto or...
Let's do auto, yeah, because a lot of our people probably are thinking more on the long auto. What types of auto glass do you use?
Well, I mean, we try to use the top of the line brands. Pilkington is a big one. PGW, Carlite. Those are all the brands you're going to find coming out of the factory.
Okay.
If they're not available, then there's other brands out there that we can use that are, like I said, OEE as well. Like FYG is a big one. Criminex is a big one. So, but we try to use the better products because we're going to stand behind them. Try not to use
you warranty them, yes.
Right, any inferior products. And everything we use, from the windshields to the moldings to the adhesives to we'll spend the extra money to make sure it's done right, so we don't have to address it later.
I knew I chose you guys for a reason.
Well, even if you look, like I never knew glass before, the types of glass, and I have a new vehicle and it's Pilkington.
Right.
I mean, that's from the
that's
dealership,
from the dealership,
manufacturer. Yes.
Right.
Yes. So they can pay.
So when I get my windshield replaced, I have no qualms or worries about it because I know I'm going to get the same quality and type of glass that my vehicle came with when I purchased it. So
I only ask about it because I now have like one of those little starbursts in my window from a truck this morning. So not only did, we have a computer crash earlier in the week, I've got my glass that I'm going to need to come and, get fixed.
Well, I have a card for you here.
Oh, you got a card. I think I called Danalda. Anyways, I knew I chose you guys for a reason. So I guess this question is going to be for both of you, but I'm going to ask Danalda first. What do you like best about what you do in Star Glass?
I would say the biggest thing is the relationships. The relationships that I have with my customers, and then the relationships I have with our office and all the folks that work over at the office. That I enjoy the relationship I have with my clients, and then I know that they will be taken care of. I'm not worried when I go into your office and say, you should please send me your customers, and be like, oh my goodness, I hope everything goes okay. I have 100% faith that everything is going to go smooth and it's going to be a great process, and that you can trust me and that we have that trust to work together. So
love it. And Steve, how about you?
Well,
Same
I think
question.
if you're going to do something for 35 years, you have to have a great drive and passion to do what you do.
Agreed.
I have that just based on the team that I've assembled around me. Obviously, they're great to work with. It's fun to come to work. Everybody gets along real well, and that kind of shows in their quality of work that they do. And everybody takes great pride in what they do and how they do it, from answering the phones to installing that piece of glass. So it makes my job easier. So yeah, I mean, that just having that passion to do what you do every day and love doing it.
And it shows through in everything that you guys do, from the way you talk about Star Glass to the job that you do to the people that you hire. It shows. And that's, again, another reason.
Big difference.
A big difference. And one of the reasons that we do a lot of referrals to you. And you had mentioned that you have grown this business from, 450,000 to, millions. What do you attribute to Star Glass success? What do you think makes you so successful, Steve?
Well, I think, like Danalda touched on, customer service and doing a job for somebody, and they're going to ask for you again, and again and again. And
word of mouth is huge.
Yeah, how many repeat customers? We have so many.
Yeah, we just get tons of repeat customers that come back to us just
that
based on
volumes.
the service. Yeah, so I think that's where most of the growth comes from, is just people wanting to ask for us, and our name's all over town, but people recognize the Star Glass name, and I had a windshield done there, not even maybe knowing me or Danalda. But, I had great service there. And like I said, our reviews speak for themselves. And we make sure that, if there is an issue, we're on top of it right away, because we want them to come back to us.
And, I think I've said this before. I need to let my listeners know that I personally use your services both on my auto and my office building. You guys did phenomenal there. Both times have been exceptional. The gentleman that came out was very knowledgeable, professional, quick, courteous, had everything done from A to Z. It was just wonderful. If anyone is out there looking to have any glass fixed, replaced, please, please, please consider using Star Glass. You cannot find better service or commitment to you. I will 100% guarantee it. All of their information can be found on Tucson Business Radio X, and we'll go through that here in a minute. We're heading towards the end of this podcast, and I want to make sure that we have touched on everything. You know, if you have any specials that you offer new customers or anything like that, please let's go ahead and get that here. Is there anything we didn't cover? Danalda, I'll go with you first, and then we'll hit Steve.
I think we covered everything. Just the great part about our company is we literally do everything and anything. From your car, whether it's fixing it, replacing it, tinting it, to your home, anything that you could possibly need having to do with glass at all, we do take care of.
Excellent. Steve?
Yeah. Just to touch upon that. Yeah, we have different promotions going out throughout the month on different service needs. So I encourage your people to call, whatever their needs are, and ask for any promotions going on. We have deals going on in the Home Mag and other magazines in town where we offer, percentages off, or depending on whatever the value is. So just encourage, call and ask and see what we got going on at the given time. So.
And we make it easy for the customers too. We work with all insurance companies, and if for whatever reason they don't have glass on their coverage, we do offer cash prices. We make it very easy for all of the customers. And
that's big, because not a lot of people have glass coverage, or they assume that because as an insurance agent, comprehensive does cover glass, but sometimes they don't have that $0 glass deductible.
Right.
So how do you work with the auto? Let's talk about that real quick. The auto people that don't have insurance, and then the home that doesn't have insurance.
For the auto part, we'll offer, there's a couple different vendors that we can use. So the girls in the office are very good about looking up what type of vehicle they have and the type of glass, and then they can kind of shop around and see what the best
so they'll shop around for the customer.
That's absolutely phenomenal. They have a couple of different resources that they have that they can use to make sure that they do get the best cash price. They're not going to go in there and try and gouge them because they have to pay out of pocket. They're very they're good about looking for the best deal for the customer.
And what about homes? Because oftentimes homes have multiple windows and can be quite expensive. Are there payment plans? How do you work with them? And Steve, I'll throw that one to you.
Well, we don't have any payment plans, but we do offer a competitive price. And depending on what their need is, if it's just the glass that's broken, we can just replace the glass. Now, if it's frame damage, we'll work with them on that as well, as far as what they're wanting. Do they want the whole window replaced? Do they just want to cover up the opening? Trying to work with them and their finance needs, so we try to accommodate them any way we can. Like I said, we do board up. So if they can't maybe afford the glass at the time, we board up the window until they can, just to make sure they're safe and secure until, they're ready to make a decision on what they want to do.
And we're not the type of company, I will say, from my own personal use for home. A few years ago, we redid all the windows in my home. And before I even worked for Star Glass, you sometimes get the companies that come knocking door to door. We had them give us an estimate. We didn't know better, and the price was interesting. And then, once I started working for Star, I had them come out and do all the windows at my house, and the price difference was incredible, and it made a huge difference in the house replacing all the windows. So we're not out there trying to make a fast buck out there with home. And
that's good. That's good. That is excellent. So one more time, anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like our listeners to know?
No, I just want to thank you for having us on, and we appreciate your continued support, and actually Tucson's continued support.
That's huge. Tucson is hopefully out there going to support you. We'll get you some more business rounded up, and that's kind of what we're here to do.
Definitely.
That is all we have with Connecting Tucson with Jamie here at the Stewart Title Studios. If you like the show, please let us know. You can connect with Star Glass by calling 520-620-0011 or go to TucsonBusinessRadioX.com, Connecting Tucson with Jamie, to see all of their website and email information, along with where they're actually located. As always, do not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and make that new connection. You never know where it might lead, Tucson. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.